Hello everybody, welcome back to the single player world. Today we are standing on top of the fort because we're going to be building over here. I did mention at the end of the last episode that we're going to be building some buildings today. Big buildings at that, and I'm going to definitely deliver on that promise today. We've got a very big buildings planned for this area. Probably not going to get all of them done because it's quite a lot of work, but it's definitely going to be an awesome episode. We're going to be doing a lot of detail onto this building if I can get everything correct. So I'll get to explaining that first. Before I go, well, not first, but I'll get to explain that. But first, I've got to try something. The sun's really inconvenient. We'll do something else, and then I'll come show you what we're going to do. So the first thing that we're going to do, I guess, is going to be taking your guys' suggestion about the banners, because that was a great thing to ask at the end of the last episode. What you guys thought was a good color for this area. Now, I do have a little bit of a thought to this, which I want to try out, but I think let's give it a go. So the idea was that I was looking for a color that looked like it was a wealthy color, and many people suggested that what looks kind of wealthy is purple. Apparently purple's quite a royal-looking color. I've never really come across that until people said that, and then I've started thinking about it. I'm like, yeah, it kind of does seem like it. So I want to give a purple banner a try, just to see how it looks. So it would be like that, then that, there, and then we would do one of those, and then one of these. Now, the only thing is that, I do want it to look quite wealthy and royal and all of that, but I feel like this town isn't necessarily just built around the king and the queen, you know, the people who run this place. So let's do that there, that there, that there. I really like all of them so much. I don't know if you are thinking what I'm thinking, but I'm thinking maybe, why don't we have all of them? Why don't we try all of them? We can maybe put them in different areas representing military, maybe something else. That could be cool. Maybe a bit of green, and then we could have one where we probably put them all together with, well, not all these together, but we make like a separate color, which means the city, or maybe this is all about just this general shape. Maybe that's the idea of this place. Who knows? But I do kind of like that purple more than I was expecting. I really was not expecting to like it at all. So that is actually really cool. Good ideas, guys. Thank you. And obviously, this requires some more input. If you guys want to do the many things, we can try and create a few ideas. Maybe some green, maybe blue. Who knows? We could do some other things. I think the blue might just be a bit too close to what we're doing in the other place. So let me just quickly sleep. And once this is over, apparently I've actually left a stair block rogue in here that I keep forgetting to get to. Yeah, I don't know where I've done it. Ah, there it is. Thank you. Perfect. Okay, so the next stage is talking about what we are building today and a quick suggestion from people at the end of the stream. So at the end of the stream, I asked in our most recent stream, what is a good block to put at the bottom of the ocean? Just because I'd started doing this, you can see I've finished a lot of it. And I was looking for a block that would be good to texture the bottom with, or maybe even do a completely different bottom of the ocean. I've decided to give it a go, and endstone was the suggestion. So endstone, just normal plain endstone over there at the bottom. I think it looks kind of cool. When I zoom in on it, it looks a little bit silly, but it's got a nice rough texture, and just going around it like this, I think that works really well. If I was going to do it, I was going to put them in some larger patterns, well, and also larger areas than what we've got currently. So let me just try to do that there. Let me just do some of these on the edges of this one here. And I've started doing this as well, by the way, just adding in little variations in the ground to make it work for us. Oh, there's still, yeah, Skelly's still there. I thought these guys would have despawned. By now, at least. So let's go back here, check it out. Bam. Okay. Yeah, it's very subtle, but it does definitely make a difference. So I'll eventually do some of this stuff, try it out. Probably in a stream, we'll just play around with a few blocks soon. That'll be good. Get this world looking kind of cool. Well, this floor looking kind of cool. Now, the next stage is going to be getting the building. So let's speak about this building. And while we speak about it, I'm going to let those mobs despawn so I can go around there. The building that I want to build is similar to something I've built in my last world, where I built a little place to put a boat and get the boat fixed. Today what we are going to do is we're going to do a dock that is inside of a warehouse. And this is something I've played around with a little bit in a creative world, just playing around with the idea, the size, and what I want to like see in this build. And I think we're definitely going to have a pretty cool thing by the time we're done here. Something that'll be sort of original to these docks, which is awesome. Oh man, look at look at all the ocelots. That's crazy. So what I've got here is I've got the first little shape of the size of this. This over here is the planning. So this is where we're going to start. We're going to be working that way. I've planned where I want the just outside docks to be. We could probably eventually have a big ship over there. But what I want this one here to be, if I can fly, please, that'll be great. Thank you very much. There we go. Is I want this to be from there. We're going to have one little archway that's going to allow a boat, not a large boat, probably just a small boat, to be able to pull in, unload whatever it's got. We're going to have a gap where there's going to be a little bit of a walkway. There's going to be crates, another one, and another one. And then over here, a warehouse, a main warehouse. That's going to be the plan. So there's a lot of stuff to build. I'm probably also going to put a little bit of a building here, a little tower. I was thinking, I know my towers are my go-to, but I love my towers, and I think they'll be really, really cool. Specifically for this city, I've got that idea for it. So that's what we're going to do probably over there. Some of the planning has been done, and this is what we are looking at. Now, this is a great spot for us because we've got the overall size. We've got the general idea of what we are doing. I've laid out the little platforms in the middle, tried to measure them out, make sure that we have enough space. One thing that is very important about what I just did is, remember I said I wanted 3? Turns out 3 would be way too many, and 2 is going to be the one we're going for. So 2 of these, one warehouse on this side. If we had 3, imagine how, I mean, we could, really, but I think that is slightly overkill. Maybe 2 is a good number. So what I've decided to do here is put in one of these pillars over here, one of those over there. They're fairly large, but I think they're going to be really cool to add in the details that we want to this building. Because, of course, we don't want to just have a flat, big pillar up the middle. We want to do stuff to this pillar. That's where we're going to be adding stuff in. This is a giant gap. This is not going to help us out very much for adding in stuff. So I think that's an important point to make there is I've added stuff in specifically to make these things work. Because really, I don't need to. If we wanted this building to work, we don't need to do that. But that's just a little tip. Sometimes the useless stuff in building is what makes the buildings cool. Because, yeah, this is kind of useless. But that's all right. So, thinking of what we have to think about before we start this build. We need the height. Can a boat fit in there? I think it can. I'm not too sure how tall the sails are going to be. But if not, I mean, those boats could park there. These ones over here, we can just maybe pretend. We'll see how we go. So let's get started with this. This is a little bit of an unintentional thing that I've got going on here originally, because I was thinking of making this whole piece over here a big brick solid foundation over there, but I think that having these little stilts is actually pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie, I thought that was a neat little thing to come across unintentionally. As I say, I don't always plan out what comes out in the end of the builds. So let's do that. Let's maybe do a little bit of something around here. And what I'm thinking of doing with this build is, of course, laying out this piece here, dragging it in, and then going back out again. Similar to what we were intending on doing over there. And in fact, that one there, I'm going to be adding in a bit more to, because I'm not very convinced that is as good as we can get it. I think the top bit is kind of plain, and it's just not going to make it for us. So let's do that. We'll add in one of these over here. And I'm thinking just putting a little bit of a lip around here could look kind of cool. So let's do that there. Ooh, that might be too far in. It's all right. There, and there. Okay, tell you what I'm going to do is this is my general plan. Adding in this lip, I might pull it in. We'll do something in the middle. Put a little piece at the top. This is just the beginning of what we are doing here, and I'm really loving it. Loving what's going on here. By the way, when I was talking about doing stuff in the creative world, I actually haven't added any of the details or anything. I was just merely doing the sizes and stuff. So this is all just pretty much as we are going, we are doing these things. So this is what I thought. I didn't actually think it was going to turn out as good as what it looks. Just pushing this little lip out the side here, making it walkable, but not intentionally walkable. But just doing these sorts of things. Look at this. A few different levels. We got like different layers of depth on this. And that is, I think, looking really, really cool from this distance. I think that's why it's really pulling together. Let's go down here. Yeah, look at that. So now we've got these pillars going up here. We've got these pushing in. And they actually aren't in line with those like that there. Those are just off to the side. And I was hoping that I could get those one more in. but it just looks a bit funny with them one in. So I'm happy to have this pillar over here, in over there, and make it feel a bit different. Specifically from this side, it does feel like it's from a completely different point, just because it's out one more block. So I think that is cool. That was a really good landing. I'm doing really good today. So yeah, I'm gonna keep updating you guys on what we are doing here. I think what I'm gonna do next is probably just do something like this over here. Maybe do something along there, or start at least getting this part over here looking cool. What I want this part over here to be is, starting from this level, I want the... Actually, might be better off for me to just show you from this direction over here. I want the lip of this, so I want there to be like a little lip going out here. Probably out this far, I'd say. Maybe even a little bit further. It could be over the top, but I kind of like that over the topness of this, because I never build like that. So maybe pulling out something over there could look pretty cool. And we're going to be using the spruce again for that. So definitely getting our color palette in here. Then on the inside here, one quick little thing before I go for a bit more stuff is I want this part here to be completely empty. And I want there to be a place to store stuff, have a reason for this piece here. Maybe we can even get rid of that and keep that as a little bit of a vent. That actually is not a bad idea. Do that right now. And just small things like that, adding in the little details like that. Why would you need it? Who knows? But it definitely does make the build look a bit more interesting and have that little extra level of interest to it. So this is where I'm going to go. I'll cut away, I'll come back, and I will show you what's going on. Progress update for the roof. Look at that. That's what we're looking at. I think this is exactly what I was planning on. Just this kind of curve. Sort of complex and a pain in the butt to replicate on the other side. That's exactly what we're looking for. So let's quickly go out the back here. I want to show you what this is looking like right now. Bam. I like that shape. Kind of a little bit less of the arch that I was planning on, to be honest, but it works all right. But this is what I was focusing on, this shape over here. Like that, pulling outwards. Like I said, pulling out there. I think that looks really, really cool. Nice. Wonderful. So the next part of this is, of course, this tower in the middle, which isn't actually a tower. This is actually just going to be the pillar. I keep calling it a tower because, who knows? Probably because I do way too many towers. That's probably the reason. And there we go. Thank you. And here we go. So what I want to do with this is put on a little bit of a roof. So connecting this over here with probably these around here. So if I do just a very flat sort of one like that, merging in with these ones here, that could be kind of cool, I think. Let me do that. Just do it. Really. I can't stand knowing that I've left a full block there. Sometimes I just have to go back and break them. So there we go. We do that. Do that. Probably something over... Okay, I can't put a block in there. That's right. And there. That should be enough for us to get some sort of an idea as to whether or not this is going to be working. There. Perfect. Let's just leave it. Go back up here and fall down into the prison. That was actually, if I was planning on doing that, I would be very impressed with what I just did there. But I think the coolness of it was lost because I wasn't planning on it. No, that is not going to work. Okay, back to the drawing board. How about, instead of this, I make it a flat piece there where you could potentially, if you walked on the roof, you could stand and, like, I don't know what you would be standing on top of that for, but you might be able to stand on top of that. So that's what I'm going to do. Tell me what you guys think. I am absolutely loving this. It is looking so good to me. I might just be delusional, but I can't help but think that this is looking good. Look at that. Better than I was expecting. In fact, you know what I kind of like about this? Look at this shape of these. That there with this little piece here. Doesn't that look like a bird? That looks like a bird mid like wing, like flap in flight. I think that's really, really cool. One day we're going to have to build a giant eagle sort of thing in the jungle. I think that'll be really cool. I'm going to use the exact same shape as a roof. It's kind of funny, but I think that's actually, that is perfect. Look at that. Awesome. Okay. What I've done is I've also done something that I want to quickly say is very un-Jansey-like. I don't do this very often, and it was really... I just looked at the block, and I was like, you know, I'm just going to use this block, and that is the brown terracotta. Or what is it? Brown hardened clay, as we used to know it. Still hardened clay over there. That is something that's so weird for me to use, and I'm actually so glad that I used it. I'm almost kind of... I might actually just do a quick little snip between these two here, just so you guys can see what I'm talking about, but I might actually leave that just like that. I feel like over-detailing sometimes I tend to do, and I do like that over-detailed look sometimes, but this just looks so clean. One thing I do want to do, actually, I might just do this right now, is adding in over here... Please, thank you. Right. Let's do this again, because apparently I can't jump properly. So one more attempt. There we go. Perfect. Yeah, I still feel like that is even overdoing it. I just love the shape of this. Maybe what I'll do is I'll add a few bits in. I'll do like a quick cut so you guys can see what the difference is. So I'll leave it right here at this. Keep that in mind, and we'll have a look at what it looks like now. And that's the one with extra detail on it. I've done a few little things, very small things. Changed the andesite over, put these things in here, and also added in another one of those there. I'm not too sure. I kind of like this as well, but I really like that very clean... I feel like it's sort of boring, but I think the boring look is almost what we are going for in this, which I think could work very, very well. So what I want to do as well right now is I want to go onto the inside of here so I can give you guys an idea of what we are building over here. And also, I know I'm going to get if I don't do it, I'm going to get a lot of you guys suggesting it because it's a great idea. So that is, why don't I hollow this area out? Which I know it's going to be commented on. If it isn't already, someone's already thought about it before me coming up to this point. But yes, we're going to do that, of course. And I thought I'd just lay out these so we can see what would be an appropriate shape for how big would this ship be, this boat be. I feel like if it's this wide, picture that one in one more as well, because of course we've got that piece there. We're going to have it over here. I feel like maybe even further than this could be appropriate, which is somewhat surprising to me because a lot of the stuff I'm doing right now, let me just go up here, I thought was going to be very small, and in my head it seems smaller, but now when I'm doing this, if that pushes all the way back there, we're definitely going to have to clear out a lot more land, because I've got a lot of plans for this city. That is going to be really, really cool. So yeah, that is probably a good length for a boat. Let me go back here again. Yeah, picture that boat over there. I could imagine a boat going in there. So what I'll do is I'll dig it down and I'll make it look like it's been hollowed out of the land, like man-made, of course, and hollowed out that way. I think that's a great way to do it. Also, another thing I want to do is I want to remove these, and I'll have this part over here walkable. So I could do... No, I don't want that. I want that. Something like this. So that you can just walk around very easily. Not that it's intended, but it's possible, and I think that's cool. Just little details. Let me do that there. Perfect. Perfect. And also, if you guys are wondering about what the significance is of having a really big amount of docks in this city, in terms of the lore, and oh, that looks so good where we're looking at right now. In terms of the lore of this, we've got this large river rolling in from that direction over there. We're going to be widening this as well. And it comes in all the way here. So we've got a big shipping area here. We've got the ships coming from fishing, ships coming from trading, the war ships. I mean, there's a massive military in this. That's a very important part of this. So this over here is actually going to be a very, very, very important part of this, and I think we can build a lot of story into it in general, which of course is always better to have the story behind the world and let the world kind of build itself. So that is looking good. I'm very happy with the build overall today, and in the next episode, we're definitely going to be adding in a little bit more. Before I go, guys, I've just got one quick question. If you guys prefer to see me build a lot more on camera, if you guys prefer the kind of jump cuts that I do, I want to test out a few things, check what you guys prefer. But for today, this is the episode. I hope you guys have enjoyed the build. I am thoroughly enjoying this build, and I'm looking forward to getting more of it done. And hopefully we'll do a lot more in the next episode. So thank you very, very much for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time.